we're gonna have a really, really good time. Talking about things that make us laugh and make us feel alive. Red noses and silly hats, big old cars on wild tracks. Let's just talk about clowns and coasters.
No, don't touch your face!
Man, you know I'm gonna touch my face.
Good evening.
I just clipped like crazy because I was laughing.
Woo. We're here to talk about clowns and coasters. I'm Kyle Anderson.
I'm Alex Prather. Prather. I'm Alex Prather. I'm Alex Prather.
Okay, silliness.
Yeah.
Alex. Oh my gosh. So
Hey,
we're
buddy.
here. We're in the same
We're
room.
in the same room.
We're in the same place
It's
recording our
exciting.
silly podcast.
I gotta not look at the camera because this
I know.
is
Yeah, we're talking
a
to each other.
podcast
I know.
and it's not really about the camera. But
But it kind of... I'm touching my face.
yeah, I did it too right then. It's constant. It's
God,
constant
like, Alex,
face touching.
Don't touch your face.
Yeah,
What
I
do you...
know.
We're setting bad examples. I am so... Okay. We're going to get to silliness.
Sure.
We haven't seen each other in person in a while. And
Since
since before...
was it your brother's wedding? You
Goodness
had to have been
gracious.
here before
Was
that.
it- No. I was here briefly.
When we were here
Yeah.
last.
Wasn't I here briefly for something? Thanksgiving? Christmas?
It wasn't Christmas.
Thanksgiving I was here like for a hot second, wasn't I? My memory before January
Yeah.
is just I have no idea.
Yeah.
So,
it's
I
been a
don't know.
while. Moral of the
I-
story is it's been a while.
So how you been?
I've been alright. How you been? You know, the world is falling apart.
The world is falling apart. So I think like on our last two episodes, or we haven't released one of them, but yeah, the last one we recorded, the last two we recorded, I went back and we both went like, oh, coronavirus, what's going on now?
Yeah.
Oh well.
Oh well. I think there was legit, you said, until then, we move on, we ignore it. And I specifically said, it's like, that sounds like one of the reasons that it got as bad as it has. And you were like, probably so.
Yeah, maybe we were.
Maybe so.
I was part of the problem. I have no idea, but
I don't know.
yet here we are, and times are tough for clowns and coasters.
Oh, absolute.
That's a kitty cat.
That's a kitty cat.
Bring the kitty cat in. Come on, kitty cat, come say hey.
Alright, I'm just leave the door open for you. You can
right.
come in whenever you want. Yeah, times are not good for clowns or coasters.
Yeah, I believe. I mean, Disney was the first one to pull the trigger, I think, and then it was okay. So let me tell you about driving down here, because yet again in my life, for like the 10th time, I pass Six Flags St. Louis, and we're like, and it says, which we drove down Thursday. March day that was.
Yeah.
And it said opening in 5 days, and we both kind of went, okay, okay, but and like, so I was like in my mind planning, I'm like, okay. Like on the way down, I was thinking, if we like make a rule, like we watch each other. Don't touch each other. Don't touch faces. Don't touch each other's faces. But also to make sure we don't touch our faces. We wash our hands literally as often as we can. I'm like thinking of ground rules, or like what do we do? Because there was there was also supposed to be a 40% chance of rain, like the day we were supposed to go. Mm-hmm. So I'm thinking, okay, that'll already make crowds thinner than they were going to be anyway. So I'm thinking maybe I could convince myself that this is a responsible thing to do. And before we even got like halfway through Missouri, we're like, no. Just like all the podcasts, all the things we were reading, we're like, no, that's the dumbest.
Yeah.
No, can't do that.
Yeah.
No, it's gonna be no group activities for quite some time.
For like
8 weeks? I was saying now.
8 weeks. I was gonna say the bare minimum is like 2 or not 2, but like 3 or 4 weeks.
CDC just came out. It's like
CDC
if you got
said
50 or more people in the next 8 weeks. Shame.
Jeez.
Ooh. And the World Health Organization. Who? Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Shout out to our friend Andrew, who that's his default.
That's his thing. That's his
my
joke.
favorite thing.
Yeah.
Anytime he brings up the World Health Organization. Who? From the other room. Like, who? It's great.
Yeah.
So, any fun news?
Any fun news?
I don't know. What are our topics? What have we been doing? By the way, this is like a different kind of setup where obviously there's extenuating circumstances, so it's like we're coming in we're just going to chat.
This is gonna be an easy, chatty episode. I have a couple of things we could talk about that are kind of on topic.
Yeah, do it.
But we could start with our usual intro where we talk about like fun things, games, and things.
Okay.
What you playing anything right now? Everyone's playing stuff. You can't leave the house.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have a lot of video game times.
Yeah, man.
I hope. I don't know if I'm not.
Yeah.
Doing some.
Who knows?
Who knows? But
Right.
I got. What?
Our rapport is so much better in person because we don't have to wait for the lag.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We just can talk and go.
So great.
It's nice.
It is nice. I mean, it sounds better when you like edit, but like when I'm editing this thing, it's amazing how off we are. Like how much of a delay there is.
Oh, absolutely.
Because if I put it like, because we do this like thing where we're over Discord, we go 3, 2, 1, clap, and then we're supposed to do that together. But like if I'm listening to it, it's like clap, and then like a second later I hear your clap.
Oh yeah.
So gonna be a little snappy. So
Nice.
what was this?
What are you playing? Are you playing anything?
Zelda: A Link Between Worlds.
Yes.
Man, those some crazy dungeons.
Yeah, I haven't played that one, but
I think I've done at least 2 dungeons. But I've gotten the ability. So for those who don't know, Link Between Worlds is technically a sequel to A Link to the Past, which is Super Nintendo, like 1993 or something like that. And then A Link Between Worlds came out in like in the 3DS era, so like in the 2010s, on the 3DS, and it's the same environment, but you got this new ability where you can. What?
Link to the Past came out in 1991. It came out the year I was born.
Oh, I'm thinking of
Wow.
Link's Awakening. That came out after, which is why that is like a more expansive. I was really impressed by the scope of Link's Awakening for being a Game Boy game. It packed a lot into that.
That's cool. I didn't play that one either.
That's a good one. But Link Between Worlds, you can turn into like a painting. You can like you hold A and you like smoosh against the wall and become like 2-dimensional on wall surfaces.
That's like early Paper Mario. Or,
yeah,
Paper Mario.
Something like that. Yeah, I knew there's some game that did it. So it like totally, it's a whole new element to the game. You can like, and there's like little slits in the wall sometimes that you have to like be sneaky and find. So some of the walls, especially the ones that are, because it's a top-down view, just like Link to the Past.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like a 3D Link to the Past. It's really great.
That's awesome.
But like if you go to the bottom of the screen, you can't like see the wall, and then you'll like smoosh into the wall. It's like I got everything over here. There's like passageways. It's really fun.
That's cool. I need to play it.
What you been doing? What you been watching?
I haven't really been playing much anything. I played the demo of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, which is. I didn't expect you to laugh, but yeah, it's justified. It's a justified.
I'm sorry, but like,
no, that's justified.
You don't want me to giggle at Pokemon Mystery Dungeon?
Yeah, no, it's great. Silly. It's silly fun.
That's really.
It's one of those things where it's like it's definitely fun. I would definitely enjoy it if I played it. It's hard to spend money on games.
Yeah,
like $60 for a new game.
Yeah,
and is hard.
Mm-hmm. Thank goodness PlayStation's had this flash sale. So I'm like, in like the last couple of weeks, I've got like all the Far Cry games because they're like
nice.
putting them,
yeah,
some of them.
It's very rare for Nintendo to let any of their games go on sale, and they just had a March 10th sale, Mario Day. Yeah, and they had like you could get Mario Maker and Yoshi's Knitted World or Yarn World or whatever it's called, and
Crafted.
Mario and Sonic Olympics for like $40 and $20 off. I was like, look at you guys.
That's gonna replace the Olympics. We're just gonna do esports.
I 100% would do that.
I would. In fact, esports. What you doing? Take advantage of this moment.
Oh, absolutely. Streamers like making the same amount of money, entertaining more people because they have to stay home and watch streamers.
Yeah, I'd do that. I would love to watch
Yeah,
streamers.
absolutely. Which I would love to do if my computer wasn't a brick.
Because
I
you
have to
do
reset my whole computer.
you for a while there, and you kind of picked it up not too long ago, but you did some
I started doing it again. Yeah.
with guilt.
Well, and I'm unsurprisingly having money issues because I'm who I am as a person, and I realized I can't afford Stadia, and that's the only way you can play Guild. And I'm like, you know what? No, Stadia,
way.
you are not worth it
No,
right now. And it's nothing against Google. I don't want them to be like, hey, you spoke ill of us. But
You got a
no one listens.
Switch. Yeah.
I do have a Switch. I play the Switch. But my capture card doesn't work all the time. Which I don't know if that's a computer issue or a capture card issue or I don't know what it is. Once I reset my computer, I think it's going to be better.
All right, let me figure it out. But you do some good stuff. I love you. What? We have errors.
No. Oh, there we go.
Eh?
I was looking at the time. Sorry. I was seeing what we were at.
Oh yeah.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. All right. Cool.
Anyway, what were you saying? Capture card issues.
You're doing. We'll give yourself a shout out, Captain Horatio.
Captain Horatio. Yeah, all my YouTube, my Mario Maker videos are still on YouTube.
Okay.
But you can also catch me on Twitch whenever I do it.
Your Mario Maker levels, I go back and play quite often.
Yeah.
What's the upside down one? The one where
I don't remember. I haven't played them in a minute.
Anyway, Captain Horatio. That's your.
That's my.
Is that your Mario Maker name?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's my Mario Maker name. That's my gaming name.
Okay.
I put it pretty much everything I do is that right
Cool.
now.
But your no, I love your so you got one that's upside down, like Mario is up at the top, and you got a platform across like crazy distractions and spikes and bullet bills, and I love it. It's really fun.
It's fun. I love Mario Maker, man.
Me too, man.
So yeah. What else? What else we usually do on this? Week's work was this week has just been trying
Week's
to survive.
work has been driving to
driving.
Oklahoma. I've been visiting my grandparents, but it's like I gotta.
But you gotta be safe.
But yeah,
My grandmother is literally quarantined in her like retirement community that she lives in. Like no one can visit her.
that is very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing my grandparents today. They are coming, but it's like a gathering of like.
Great.
Yeah, it's like.
Which ones? Which side?
On my
Mom,
dad's side.
dad's side.
So
Okay.
I saw my grandparents on my mom's side, and my grandma just had shoulder surgery. Fortunately, she's all done. She didn't have to be in a hospital anymore. But that was like dodged a bullet there. Like had that been like a week later,
You wouldn't even be able to get a bed.
no, nope. And certainly not riding roller coasters.
No. Yeah, no, on Twitter, I follow a bunch of like circuses and circus art stuff, and they're just like none of them can function.
No.
And they're like hopefully like trying to pay all of those people still, because for people in circus arts, that's your paycheck.
Yeah.
Like you're not making bank to like, I'm just rolling in dough. I can afford to not make money for 8 weeks.
8 weeks is insane.
It's insane.
Long time. So, and even
Long
after this,
time.
even after, well, I don't know. Hopefully, I still have my Six Flags membership or whatever.
Yeah.
So hopefully, when that gets kicking back on, I'll be able to do that. Because I was hoping to get a trip report, Six Flags St. Louis. A lot of crazy stuff I want to do there. Mr. Freeze. Want to do that. There's a Batman the Ride that's a reverse, a mirrored clone.
A mirrored clone?
Yeah, good. I'm glad that perked you up. So we can talk about terminology if you want to do that.
No, terminology is always good. We can do whatever we want today.
We can. Clones.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are coaster clones.
Coaster clones. Is that what is?
Okay,
it's just the same thing as another thing.
I'm gonna toss you some coaster jargon.
Do you want me to give real responses or my immediate reaction?
Let's see if we can do this. Six Flags St. Louis has got a mirrored BTR clone.
A mirrored BTR clone.
Yeah.
Well, that's where you take the DNA of the roller coaster and you breed in a little lab.
Coaster DNA. It's
You breed in a little lab. But every day you have it look in the mirror, and so it never knows who it is because it thinks it's the mirror. And that's what you do to BRK. Burke? What was it?
BTR.
BTR. That's what you do to BTR. Big Time Rush. They're all confused.
Big Time Rush reflecting upon its DNA.
Reflecting upon its DNA.
Yeah, that's right.
It's going to be the most improvisational podcast we do yet.
What was I listening to? Sarah Silverman was on Conan's podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And Conan did one of those, like, just started going into like a bit. And Sarah Silverman goes, yes, and...
Yeah.
I'm just like, do we have to do this, Conan? Do we have to?
Yeah. Did you listen to the... I'm sorry.
No,
we'll get back to Clowns and Coasters. Did you listen to the Paul Rubens one?
No, I haven't listened to
odd.
it. I haven't seen it.
He is an odd person.
Yeah. Oh, Paul Pee-wee.
Rubens.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
That's gotta be...
It was
incredibly
so
bizarre.
It was so bizarre. Anyway.
He's a weirdo. I don't know how that would go.
BR, Big Time Rush.
Oh, BTR, Big Time Rush.
Yeah.
I hit the table. BTR is Batman the Ride.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. I'm going to give you the nerdiest coaster thing.
Yes.
No.
Okay. And what is my... Oh, I'm just listening or am
Sure.
I
I'll just
responding?
it's about BTR.
Okay.
So, Batman the Ride
is
a common roller coaster model. If you've been to Six Flags Over Texas, those inverted roller coasters, which means you're hanging below the track.
Sure. I would have guessed that.
The track is inverted.
Yeah.
Think of it that way. Yeah. And inversion is when a roller coaster goes upside down. I get it. Anyway. There's a lot of technicalities on like how the angle you have to be in order to consider it an inversion. I don't know those. I'm not going there. Anyway, so
I was waiting for you to be like, but an inversion has to be between what is it, 85 and 95 degrees.
I think it. Nope. I think it's beyond 120. I think it's beyond 120 degrees. I'd have to check myself on that, but like between 120 and or one way or another.
Yeah.
Like 180. I don't know.
Yeah. I got you.
Forget it. Anyway, so
anyway,
in 1992, I believe, Six Flags Great America, my home park in Gurnee, Illinois, they built Bollinger and Mabillard, or B&M.
Bollinger and Mabillard.
Yeah. They built the world's first inverted roller coaster.
Yeah.
Called Batman the Ride, and it has since been cloned, I believe, more than any other ride. It's been copy and pasted all over the place. In fact, Six Flags, the entire chain, has not built an original B&M inverted coaster. It's all Batman clones all over. They've renamed them. Like there's one in San Antonio that's named something different. It's called Goliath. But they're all Batman.
Yeah.
And there are a handful of them that are mirrored. Good, responsible.
Into the shirt.
In the shirt. Some of them are like reverse images, I guess.
Some are reversed, some are mirrored, some are inverted, but it's all the same thing.
Yeah. So
turn it.
The original one, like, put it this way, when you're going up the chain lift, you do like a little dip and the main drop swoops down to your left. St. Louis one
Swoops down to the
Swoops
right.
down the right.
One might say mirrored.
Mirrored. So a mirrored BTR clone.
Mirrored BTR clone.
Yeah. There are 2 BTR clones in the city of San Antonio alone. So one of them's mirrored though.
So it's...
Oh, that gets me to my super duper nerdy fact. So, the Batman the Ride at Six Flags Great America is the original. So, because it's the original, it kind of sort of, especially more than the other ones, works with the environment.
Sure.
It looks like it fits the place it should fit. But because when they built it, there was going over the underneath the chain lift, there was a bathroom that pausing for motorcycle and gone. There was a bathroom that Six Flags didn't want to move. They didn't want to tear down. They didn't want to do anything with this structure because they're cheap. There's a bathroom there. And to be fair, there's not a bathroom anywhere near that one. So they were like, okay, what are we going to do? So if you look at the supports for the chain lift, you got the chain lift going up, and they're all kind of, shown on camera, they're all kind of angled. It's like an A-frame support, with the exception of one. There's one where instead of those supports being at an angle like that, they're at 90 degrees. Mm-hmm. So I think like the third one up is angled slightly differently so it wouldn't interfere
with the bathroom.
So now as a result, there are Batman clones that have one of those supports at right angles for no reason.
Just because they're clones.
And, yes, and also it had to go over that structure, the loop. So the first element it does, it swoops down to the left and drops and goes into a vertical loop, just a regular loop. And it's a little higher than it's shaped a little funky. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you look at the loop from certain angles, it enters the element, like the first swoop in it enters the element lower than when it exits the loop. So like it comes in down here and then finishes the loop, and then it comes out of the loop a little bit higher than when it came in, which looks natural when you're looking at the one in Chicago.
Right.
Because there's a building underneath it. It's got to do the next element above the element. So when you look at other clones, it kind of looks funky. Because there's why would you up there? Why is the loop so huge? Like if you look at especially I'm thinking of the Six Flags Over Texas one, the first loop is way higher off the ground than it looks like it needs. It looks like it could have gotten way down. Yeah, it probably could have got more speed and gone down lower.
But there was a building there somewhere else.
Yeah, there's a building there somewhere else. So now all of them have to have these weird shaped loops.
Wow.
And I just think that's funny because
that's really interesting.
Yeah, because Six Flags didn't want to move a bathroom. Now that affects.
Is the bathroom still there?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You've been talking about it as if they still they did all of that to go around the bathroom, and then they went, know what? Just
I got
take the
this
bathroom
information from Coaster Studios, a great YouTube channel, and then I was like, okay, and then I went and actually looked, and I was like, show enough.
That's so
They're
funny.
like, there's a weird, that one's at a right angle, and the loop is higher, and I'm like, yeah. Then I looked at pictures of others, and I was like, yeah, that loop should be, or it at least you would think would come out of the element at the same
place.
height.
Yeah.
But now it looks like the loop, like if you're playing roller coaster or a roller coaster simulator, it looks like you warped the loop. It looks like you just pulled it and tilted it weird. So it looks just a little off. Just like,
just a little off. That's so interesting.
So that's one of the nerdier coaster facts.
That's a great fact, though. That's a solid fact.
I love that. No one cares. It doesn't matter. But I noticed that now.
But that's a good, No, that's so interesting.
So what's one of the nerdier clown things you know? I don't know.
I mean,
juggling notation probably.
Juggling, yeah. I mean, other things the other things I know right now, the nerdiest thing that I know about is site swap notation.
All right. Hit me with Rolf Rubinstein.
I don't remember.
You don't remember it?
I could look it up. For you. I could look it up for you.
But that was a lot of fun for me. Like it was 5-2-2-4. I forgot. What it was. But like the high and crossing, that was crazy.
It's a thing. And I forget that there's a couple of juggling moves that are specifically known because like a lot of them have names, right? You can do a cascade, you can do a reverse cascade, you can do an umbrella, you can do tennis, you can do a box. These all have names. What's a tennis?
You were I think you.
Tennis is you do one. Basically, it might also be a 3 like in notation form.
Okay.
Because like again,
which is about eye level.
It just has to do with about eye level tosses. It might be a 4-3-3-4. That might not be right. I'd have to do the math.
I'm not gonna know.
I'd have to do the math.
You could say 18-5-14, and I would be like, yeah, I know. Yeah.
With the hesitation on
18-5-14. Oh, tennis Ramelsteins.
Yeah, tennis Ramelsteins.
Yeah.
But no, tennis is just one toss over. Basically, one ball just goes back and forth while the other two are getting.
Oh yeah, that's what you were doing earlier. Okay. Yeah, that was cool looking.
So that's a fun one. It's really it looks cool and it's not super hard. It's not easy necessarily, but it's not nearly as hard as some of the other things.
What's an umbrella?
And actually, I've heard this called something else. I heard it called something else. Like just today, I watched a video and they called it something else. But basically, it's you toss one ball in the center that just basically stays in the center, and then the other two balls cross over it.
Okay.
So, which is interesting because those two throws have to not hit each other. So they have to like. So those two throws are at the same time.
Oh.
One in the center, two on the out. One in the center, two on the out. Get the balls. Get the balls.
Alright.
This is great for the people listening on iTunes.
Yeah, well,
and
get YouTube,
Spotify, and Google.
Okay, so yeah, they're gonna hear
that sound. I'm actually coming to find that sound really relaxing because I juggle when I'm stressed.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And so now the sound is starting to like plop 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 plop.
So
you'll basically do a column with one ball in the center. It's just a series of like twos, yeah. But then the other two balls will switch hands, so you're actually doing fives.
Okay.
One and then over. Yeah, like
then
that.
What do you do?
Yeah, but you catch that, so it would basically be up, over, up, over.
Okay.
Like that. Which I'm shocked it went that smoothly the first time, because usually it takes me a couple of attempts to get my body in the right groove. Yeah.
And then no, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do
Well,
that.
no, probably not.
But I'll do this all day.
Oh, here's something you can do. Again, great
for those who are listening. I'm juggling super well.
Yeah.
It's really impressive.
Here's something you can do. I'll show you with different ones. It's one of my favorite things to do, and it's super easy, but it's just fun for me.
What is that?
I have no idea. I don't like it. So you just do inside throw, outside throw, outside throw, inside throw, outside throw, outside throw. So you're just switching back and forth.
All right, now I'm going to describe what you're doing because this is my favorite. So Alex is doing with one hand, circling just two balls, just
inside
kind of in
throws.
Inside
to out.
Inside to out circle, and now he's going to toss one to the other hand at some point from.
So I'm actually doing two inside throws.
Describe it better, please.
Right with your right hand, you do two inside throws, and then you switch that mid juggling to two outside throws.
Okay.
And then you do two inside throws with the left hand, because during the two outside throws from the right hand, one will actually switch hands. And so you do two inside throws with the left hand and then switch it to outside.
All right.
And so basically you're just creating this like circular motion of like out, in, out, in.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, and it's really easy because you're really just doing two ball juggling.
Just kind of.
But because of the way you're doing it, you're creating the momentum of like why it would hear you use these if you want.
Okay, yeah, I think I can do that. So
So in.
Okay.
Yeah. So the hardest part is just switching from inside to outside, and then switching that. Yeah, and then you just get that other hand. Yeah, I mean you. It's easier to do it with 3 balls because then you don't have to worry about transitioning both hands.
I'm not as good at this with my left hand.
I will say, as someone who has spent my entire life with horrible hand-eye coordination, I've gotten much better by practicing. Like, you don't think hand-eye coordination would, like, you think, well, at least for me, because I wasn't an athletic child. Like, it's just not in me
But
to
you
be.
like developed a muscle memory.
But, like, yeah, but now I can throw food into my mouth that I've never been able to do. Like, my spatial awareness has just gotten worlds better.
That's really cool.
By juggling. My brain's going, okay, that's how that, because, like, I used to not know where my hands were. But juggling, you're not supposed to look at your hands, you should look at the ball. So now I have to know in my body where everything is all the time.
That's got to be a cool feeling.
It's a cool feeling.
To know where things are now.
It is. It really is.
I'm trying to...
Oh, here's a weird fun fact.
Yeah.
This is not necessarily anything super, like, to talk about, but, like, someone just ran the most, like, ran like a couple of miles juggling blindfolded. So, like, process that.
Okay.
So first of all,
why?
no.
No. Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's actually a fine reason.
Yeah, just something to do, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like,
what else are you gonna do?
first of all, running blindfolded or jogging blindfolded, you run into trees.
yeah.
First
Moving
of all,
while doing anything
yeah.
is
Second of all, running and juggling.
yeah.
That's gotta be
Really
that's
hard.
a challenge because you're moving everything.
Yeah.
Standing still and juggling blindfolded. You gotta know what you can't even keep an eye on where the ball is. He did all 3 of those things, or she did. I think that one was a man.
I'm gonna juggle.
Close your eyes.
Okay. Can I start with my no?
No. You made it one throw. I think you caught one of the balls.
All right. Okay. Hold on. I'm just gonna do it with my eyes open for a while. Just get the feel. All right. You're looking. See, I just know. No, there's no way.
See,
absolutely no way I can do
Here's an
that.
interesting thing, though, and I was thinking about this, like, and I kind of talked to you about this before we started recording, but, like, your rhythm, like, what is natural rhythm for you is so much faster than mine.
Oh.
Like, and that's not a problem. That's
Oh,
because every juggler has a different, like, rhythm that your instinct is. It has to do with the height. It has to do with how you're throwing.
So my 3 would be.
So yeah, because your 3 is thump, 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 thump,
Okay.
thump, and mine is like thump, 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 thump.
Yeah.
Like, you could give it a tempo marking.
That's
in
probably,
musical terms.
I think. I mean, my thinking was, like, as I was juggling, like learning to juggle, I don't know. I didn't want to put in the effort to do, like, I don't know. Maybe I just gave up. But, like, my thing was, okay, I could get. What's the most impressive way I could do the easiest thing?
Right.
So it was like, do it lower. You know, just
Sure.
get, like, really, like, in there.
Well, and that's an interesting thing because I asked this of my wife once, and it was. So I said, "What's more impressive, really quick and small, or really slow and big?" And I would do really tall, really high throws.
I mean, that's awesome.
But even still, just 3. I would just throw one like really high and then throw the other one like yeah. And it was interesting because she said when I did them both for her and she was next to me, she was like, "Oh, the fast one." But then I stood farther away and she goes, "Oh, actually, the tall one is really cool." Like her proximity to my doing of the thing affected which one was more impressive.
Okay, so maybe for like a
Right?
grand theater, you do really.
Yeah, or just like a bigger room. Like if you're in a like, I would say like somewhere where you would have like a family reunion.
You would do a 6.
If you were doing just
No,
like yeah,
a
you were doing
7. 'Cause
yeah.
7's crossed.
Yeah, but still doing it with 3, which is less impressive, but yes, but that height is still correct. Like the 7 height would still be right.
Okay, like how high does the notation go?
It
There is theoretically no limit.
Yeah, but yes, but no, because there is technically a limit based on physics of how high you can throw. One
On
and
Earth.
two, right? But also just how many? Because at a certain point, I forget what it is. There's a great video on why it's impossible to jug more than like 17 balls.
17 balls?
I think
Is
the
possible?
is it might be 15. It's 15 or 17. Yeah. Someone can like and
Yeah.
it's easier you can the other thing is like you can do a flash of a higher number than you can actually juggle.
A what?
So a flash is there are as many catches as there are throws.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. So that's just like what you would say is like if I could like do 5 but just catch them and be done, I can't keep going. That's a flash. I could say I can flash 5 but I can juggle 4.
That's
Right?
those are good words.
Those are yeah.
Yeah, I can flash 5. I got a flash 5, but I
Yeah, because it's actually easier to it's easier to flash than it is to juggle because you just have to get one throw in for each object.
So
and then
if
you can catch
if
and be
you
good.
keep going, that'd be a serial flasher.
Yeah, yeah. If you do it and then you do it again and you do it again, that's a serial flasher.
Okay.
Yeah. But you have to wear a big coat. You have to
Yeah,
wear an overcoat.
yeah.
Like you just hold it up and there's just balls.
Just balls, just like clubs.
Clubs,
I
yeah.
watch your club juggling. That's what's insane to me. It would take me a long time to figure that out.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Here's something I want to run by you.
All right.
So I'm starting to club juggle, which is harder than doing the balls because they take up more space and they can hit each other more easily. And yeah, but let me run this by you. In a way, it's easier because with a ball, all you can do is catch the ball. If the ball hits in, is it weird at all? You drop that ball, right? Period.
Yes.
But with a club, you're supposed to throw here and catch in that same spot. But if you're wrong, you can catch it here or at this
there's
angle.
more
So
margin
there's
for
more
error.
margin for error with a club than you have with a ball.
Okay.
Because there's more because there's more space.
So
Because there's more space and because of the rotation, you actually can catch it where you need to if you mess up. Thump, thump,
that's a
thump,
good sound.
thump.
These are not. Yeah, I think the last time I was here, that had to have been Christmas. I had to,
Yeah, because I got these for Christmas, so
Yep.
it was right before. I mean, I got them like a week or two before Christmas,
Yeah.
but they
So
were
we're
a Christmas
around-
gift, so it was around there.
we were around that time. Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I tried with 3.
You
Did better than I thought.
I think you got
but,
a
like,
flash.
Oh yeah, I got a flash.
Yeah.
Good.
See?
So, but
Yeah.
that was really.
When we're not recording, I will take you outside and I'll show you how to juggle clubs consistently.
That would be great. We'll bring the camera. We'll bring the drone. I want to do that while I'm
Yeah,
here.
let's do it.
We're gonna get an orbiting shot of you juggling. We're gonna make a whole juggling music video.
Yeah,
or something.
that'd be
'Cause
fun.
What else are we gonna do?
Nothing.
So, I remember last time you did, like, how you held it mattered. Did it?
Yeah.
Like, you had like a
Well, yeah,
like a
it's
quick flip grip.
quick flip grip, flip dip grip. It's hard to say.
Is there any truth to that? Am I making that up?
No, I think that's There's definitely because here's the thing, and this is something I've really noticed the more I watch juggling videos. I like that this is clowns and coasters, and half the time I'm talking about just juggling, not clowning at all.
That's part of it.
It can be. It is for me definitely.
Yeah.
It's definitely a tool I'm going to use to do stuff. That's the thing with jugglers is that I'm just now starting to kind of get right. Every throw is the same, like the same height, the same like for good jugglers, because that makes it easier. It's easier if everything is consistent.
I mean, I noticed that just now when I tried to close my eyes juggling. I was like, all right, I'm just going to do it with my eyes closed, but like look off into the distance.
Yeah.
As like a first step. And I was like, no, I'm going
You gotta
all over
move
the
so
place.
much,
With
yeah.
I'm wide. So
And I was doing okay with that on the balls, just getting them in a certain area, but then still all different heights. And you can really see it when I do columns, which is you throw 2 balls up at the same time. It's like you throw 1 ball up and then 2 balls up in the air like that. My left one is always at a different height. And I started when I was started club juggling. My pattern, because in theory it goes thump, 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 right? Mm-hmm. But my pattern was thump, 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 thump.
Oh, get that out of here.
I know. No, it was awful.
A thump, thump?
Because I would toss...
There's no syncopation in juggling.
My right hand I would toss higher and slower. And my left hand I would flip shorter and right over. So it would go through. And the left hand would go floody floop.
Before I got that flash last time I was here, that's how I was like, okay, no, they have to all be.
They have to be the
so
same.
consistent. And it was only through a very concentrated burst of concentration that I was able to
get them to get consistent. Yeah. And that's the thing with, so like, you don't necessarily have to throw them exactly the same way, but if you do that, that's how you get consistent. You go, this is how I grab it, this is how I throw it, this is how it lands. That's why having it be one specific thing makes it easier. Okay.
So let's get you juggling on a roller coaster.
Oh, God. Oh.
It sucks that one of our topics literally makes you nauseous.
Oh yeah, like I literally can't even like take part in the thing. Like even if we were just like we're gonna do 2 special episodes and one we're gonna go watch clowns and one we're gonna go to a coaster, I would vomit.
So have you?
I would hurl.
Going back to a couple episodes ago, have you ever watched a roller coaster in VR?
I don't know if I've done the VR, but I have done a like POV,
like full screen.
Like I haven't done it. Yeah, okay. I've done it where I've watched a full screen of the thing. I might have done a POV of a VR though, because I had a phone one.
Oh yeah.
Once, and I might have tried it, but I had glasses at the time, so I don't know if that was affecting it.
Maybe that'd be like, Alex, watch these POVs without
real. And the other thing is like, because like obviously my stomach isn't being jostled around, that helps. But yeah, it is a motion sickness of like my brain perceiving those things.
Yeah.
And so it's not nearly as bad to watch those. But I did get not sick, but I got nauseated watching one once. Which is, I know, wild for you, which you don't get nauseated writing them. So
we're pressed for time. So my camera battery died, and apparently it takes a while to like. I can't just plug it in and go. It's got to like actually charge the battery, but we don't have time to do that. So whatever, we'll put up some graphic and maybe some pictures or something.
Just some nice pictures.
I don't know. But we'll do the rest of this audio wise.
Just straight up.
Yeah, because we're running short on time anyway, and this is just a weird podcast anyway. So why not have everything just kind of?
It's not that weird. There are podcasts that this is all people do. They just talk.
This is a manageable crisis.
I mean, of the problems, yeah. Do you, since we're just talking, have you ever listened to Comedy Bang Bang?
No, I've not.
You've never listened to Comedy Bang Bang? I'm surprised you haven't at least had a passing awareness.
Isn't that a show?
It was a TV show after it was a podcast, and the TV show did not last, and the podcast is still going.
Okay.
And like, Comedy Bang Bang with Scott Aukerman starting a podcast. Like, he's one of the people like Mark Maron. He started early.
Oh, okay.
He was one of the early adopters of the podcast format, and then because he like runs Earwolf.
Oh, him.
Yeah. He's a guy. He also like writes and directs Between Two Ferns with Zach Galifianakis.
Wow.
So he's a dude. But the way they do it, the setup for that is that they have a guest or two come on to just talk and be a guest.
Yeah.
For like 15 minutes maybe. And then there's another 30 minutes where they have another guest come on just as an improvised character. Like, he's got a set of characters that come in now that are like, oh, welcome back. It's good to see you again. I think Paul F. Tompkins regularly comes on as Werner Herzog.
I would like to see the child, please. That's
That's all he does. And it's like, he just says things. And he went on, he regularly also does Andrew Lloyd Webber. And so they just did one recently where he just kept talking about cats. And like
the glorious
it's
cinema
just
masterpiece.
becomes improvised noise, and it's just weird and funny. But he does another thing with who's the guy that played Sonic? Ben Schwartz.
Played Sonic?
Did the voice in
did
the
the
Sonic
voice of
movie.
Yeah.
Ben Schwartz.
It's like that wasn't an actor.
Yeah, no. There was a movie
It was a
that no one
cartoon.
really paid attention to, but
Yeah.
but here's the thing with him, and they're called I don't remember what they call them.
Alright.
They have a name for them. And it's just the two of them for like an hour and 30 minutes, hour and 15, hour 30. And they talk for a little while, but then they just like do games. Like they have a thing that they call like their Song Olympics or something. And like they just do an improv game where like one person will start a song and they have to sing it until the other person comes up with a different song inspired by that song. And they do that for like 15 minutes.
Whoa.
And it's just a silly, funny time.
So they're like singing.
Yeah, like 10 to 15 minutes straight of just singing songs at random based on inspired by the other person's song, either by topic or a word or a melody.
It's all improvised?
Yeah, they just come up with it while they're, and it's
Yeah, that gives me like,
but they're all real songs.
oh,
They're real songs, but like they just start with one at random. They'll start singing a song.
Okay.
And then the other person has to like taking that song. They have to go. That reminds me of this song, and then they sing another song.
that's it.
So I would be like, "Dun dun dun, another one bites the dust,"
Hey.
and I would say that, and you would immediately go, "Dust in the wind."
Okay.
All we are is dust in the
and
wind.
they keep going with that.
And they do
So
that for
that's
15 minutes. That's the improvised part of
no,
like.
that still seems very hard. Musical
yeah.
improv is
No, they're not.
so hard.
But they did another game because like for when it's just the two of them, they just play improv games on mic basically. And so one of the games they played on the last one that I listened to was they had to take. It was weird. They had to take a show, any show, and then invert all the words, and then pitch the show of the inverted words.
What do you mean? What is it?
So
like, oh,
so like I'm
what
trying
does
to
that
think.
even mean?
So,
Invert
like,
the words.
So if it was Big Bang Theory, it would be small
Oh, okay. Yeah.
vacuum question
I remember
or
there
something.
was an old, not an old, I guess it's old now, an improv or a SNL skit, John Bovey, and they did that. They took Bon Jovi lyrics and just like, dying on a prayer, don't take my hand, we will not make it, I do not swear. I mean, it was
But
a little
instead
more,
of dying on a prayer, it would be dying
off
whatever the opposite of a prayer is.
silence.
Sin.
Yeah, sin. Okay.
Dying off a sin.
Dying off sin.
And you would have to pitch that show. And it was like,
So
they just played improv games. It was very funny.
So the show Enemies obviously would be Friends, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
That is cool.
So it was just a thing. And it's not me saying we should do that. It's me just going,
I could
that's
do
a
some
thing
improv.
that
No, we
happened.
could incorporate some improv games into this. Yeah. From long distance. This, I mean, by the way, we don't know when we're going back to Chicago now, so this might not be our last live recording.
That'd be nice. If we
That would
could
be
do-
really cool.
For the next one that we do, if you're here, we will try and go back a little bit to our format.
Yeah.
I did do some research for this one, but I was like, I don't know if it's worth it.
No, let's just come in here and...
Because I didn't know how much time we'd have and
silly.
just be
So-
silly and have fun.
So, let's pretend that we're not going to have to pretend. We're going to have some free time.
Yeah?
What would you do with that free time when you're not, stressed about the world crumbling? Like, as a clown, what do you want to, get accomplished?
Oh. Yeah. Well, it's hard. Okay, so remember when we did improv together
Yes.
for many years?
Yes.
You remember this?
I do.
Chunk of your life? We had trouble rehearsing.
Oh, you're so
Because
bad at
for
rehearsing.
some reason it felt weird to rehearse just the two of us in a room.
If we could perform our rehearsal shows,
yeah,
that would be
it would be a totally
They're not
different
even
group.
close.
They're not even close.
How would you describe our rehearsals as compared to our...
Our rehearsals are cerebral.
Yeah.
Like we would just mouth words, just all of the best mouth words.
Yeah,
With not a ton of action.
parse language and do wordplay.
And as soon as you get an audience, you and I both start rolling around on the floor like fools.
Yeah, audiences make us do.
Yeah, we enjoy... Our energy just goes faster than our brains can when we have an audience. But when we're alone, our brains go much harder and faster than our energy does, because we're a little more chill.
Yeah, more focused.
But I'm having a similar thing with my clown stuff, where it's hard for me to rehearse, because clowning is so much based on audience, like, interaction. Like, even if I'm not doing something with the audience, I'm responding to them watching me. Okay. So, have you ever watched, of course you haven't. Why was I going to ask it in that way? There's a guy named Avner the Eccentric.
Oh, Abby.
Abby.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
Avner, who has a big beard, and he's an old man at this point. Okay. He's always had a beard, I think, though. But like he's got an hour-ish long show on YouTube you can watch. I mean, it's not a YouTube show, but one of his shows is on YouTube. And it's constant, like, responding to the audience. When the audience laughs, he like, oh, laughter. Oh, that's nice. And so he kind of talks and he'll do the same thing again. And it's very... And that's a clown thing. Like, there's a lot of back and forth. Or not always, but there is a lot. Yeah, there's a clip of even Slava, who I did a bunch of research on, I'm gonna do him for our next podcast probably. But he's got a thing you can watch because his big show is called Snow Show, and he's got a clip of it on YouTube that you can see. And he's doing a thing. He's very self-contained. That's a show with a bunch of different clowns, and like they're all in a world of their own, kind of. But he still gets a specific response from the audience, and him and the other clown both just look out. Both look out at the audience.
Picked up on mic, but like there's a cat playing in the other room.
Yeah, there's a good chance he's gonna bring his Squeaky Mouse in here because he really likes to play with Squeaky Mouse.
Delightful.
So
that's cool.
That's cool. Push.
That's cool.
Anyway, yeah. So it's definitely gonna be Squeaks on the podcast. But anyway, yeah. So there's a lot of back and forth with an audience.
Okay.
So I'm having a hard time rehearsing by myself, and even if I had like a partner, that's something I could kind of work with, because like we'd both be trying to figure out what works, and like because when we're improvising, because we're coming up with it on the spot, it's weird for us because there's no immediate feedback.
Rehearsing for improv in general has always been bizarre for me.
But with clowning, at least we'd be like, okay, this is the bit. You stand out and watch for a second, right?
Yeah.
And you tell me if this bit is working, or we'll feel it out and we go, okay, the timing I think would be better because we're working on specific things. Yeah. But like with improv, you and I would do a thing and be like, well, maybe that'll happen again or not.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it would be like, we'll try to get there, but who knows? And it never does, ever.
Yeah.
So.
So, I mean, my hope is that I can get out and start clowning.
I mean,
in the next month, hopefully.
There's gotta be some way to do that in this environment.
Well, I mean, even the Clowns International, which is a big clown association, they just had a big, long tweet thread.
That's how you say it. That's how the youths say
with
it.
Just, like, we don't recommend blowing up balloons by mouth.
Ooh,
like, you can use a pump, but, like, don't do a mouth. If it's a group of 50 or more, maybe consider not doing that show, or figure out how to go about it. If you're a clown, a hospital clown,
and
so much noise,
so slowly and gone. All right.
If you're a hospital clown, they're like, you really have to stick to what the rules of the hospital are, and if you can't do that show, you can't do that show. There's another group I think they're called Red Noses. I want to say they're in Europe somewhere, but I can't remember. I think they're in the UK, but that might be wrong. Anyway,
he's fine.
Okay. There's a group called Red Noses, and they've just started doing basically videos. They'll like do digital.
Okay.
Like basically they'll Skype into hospitals so they can keep clowning for people.
Aww.
Because that's what they do. They're hospital clowns. Like they can't
Yeah.
They're not going to go
What else?
do something else because that's, you know.
Let's make some clown videos. I brought my stuff.
We can do some clown videos. It'll be fun.
Videos.
I'm gonna hopefully, especially if you're here a little longer than you intended to be, your time is gonna,
Yeah.
you're not gonna have as much to do because like right now you're visiting people.
I'm visiting people, which is also its own.
It's
Careful, but
yeah.
we're
But no,
keeping it
if you're here for very long, we'll have a day where we just go do clown stuff for a whole day, and I will I'll show you what's up, and it'll be fun. That'll be a good time.
That'll be cool. We will, we'll get to that as soon as possible. So, tease for next episode.
I'm going to be talking about, I've talked about him, I think, every podcast, if not at least over half. I've talked about this guy named Slava Polunin.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm not saying his last name right because Russian is a weird language.
It's a different language.
Again, I will stay on task, but I did a couple of Russian Duolingos. And boy, there was one word, I think it was bicycle. No.
Nope.
Same. I couldn't even understand it.
Wow.
So anyway, Slava Polunin, I'll be talking about. I've done as much research as I really can. Because he's a Russian clown. So there's not a ton of information on him. Like you can get a little bit. There's some interviews.
Like what era was this?
He's still performing.
Oh, whoa! Okay.
Yeah, he's still alive. He's got
Hey, don't scratch that, little guy.
He's got his home is called the Moulin Jean. He's in France.
Okay,
but he only speaks Russian, so I don't know how he's getting by. He gets translators, I guess.
Well, all
right. No, he's still around. He just had Snow Show. Just went back to Broadway last December.
Whoa.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Talk about this guy.
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about him and the guy that basically trained him, his teacher. I don't remember his last name. His first name's Leonid. But I'm gonna talk about him too because he was in the Soviet state circus.
The circus.
The state circus of Soviet Russia.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm gonna talk about him a little bit too because I have a story about him that you're gonna love. Beckett! Playing with books.
Beckett making noise.
Sorry, my kitten is just about a year old and
he's
being a kitten. All right, so you tease. What are your hopes?
I've been thinking. I had this thought on the way here, sort of, or not right, way down here. I was thinking about a cool concept. I know 2 solid examples, but I know there are more. Roller coaster sequels.
Yeah.
Like a roller coaster that changed into like the other models that like grew and were inspired by older things that you could call a sequel. Some of them even by name. One of them in particular, I'm going to talk a lot about Son of Beast, which is a sequel to a ride that it doesn't. No, the original Beast at Kings Island is a classic, and it had a sequel, Son of Beast.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it is gonna be.
I'm excited to hear about
it. And there are going to be a couple others that we'll talk about what that means to be a roller coaster sequel.
I also have a couple of questions boiling up. I'm trying to write them all down so that like I can spread them out over different podcasts. But I'm gonna have.
What do we have?
Basically, the one I was gonna ask with the Slava stuff was basically, what is the point of a wooden roller coaster? And that sounds. I can go. I'll go more detail because like it's not as aggressive as it sounds. Where I'm like, what's the point? But I want to like.
Yeah.
Some of that kind of history, like, do they still make wooden roller coasters? If they do, why do that instead of a steel? What are the benefits?
The evolution of wooden roller coasters, and the fact that the fact that they still exist is
right. That's what it seemed like. It's like why would you even still do that? We've moved on.
I get that. After steel, like that's clearly superior. Why not keep going?
Yeah.
But there's definitely. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into not only why there's still wooden roller coasters, but like how they were in the first place.
Right.
I just realized this. They used to not have metal, because now wooden roller coasters have like a steel top topper
Sure.
on them so they can roll on steel. They used to not even do that. They used to roll on wooden tracks.
Yeah, well, and another question I was going to have, and I probably need to ask this in a way that you can research a little bit.
Yeah.
Is like, for all of your
We could do-
vast knowledge,
No, there's probably
there's
gonna be
stuff
a
you're
lot.
going to need to like look up. But like, why did roller coasters become a thing? Because like when I was looking up stuff to ask you, I saw a thing that was like, this was the first roller coaster, and it was just like a mining cart on a up and down slide.
But
I
I
was
think,
like,
yeah, the whole
it was like the
good.
first.
I'm
and
glad
so-
you're bringing it up because there's even, that would be probably the first roller coaster would probably be like a repurposed mine or train
Something,
or something
yeah.
like that. But they could even go back before that. I think in France and Russia they had like ice slides that they would like freeze structures and slide, and some consider that like a
Fascinating.
precursor.
That was the precursor. See,
If I'm thinking of this right, it's
Right.
been a while. I remember doing like a
Right.
thing in college, like looking at
Yeah.
history of roller coasters.
So yeah,
that'd be a lot of
it's
fun.
like the goal of the questions was to not make it as like lectury, but like my questions are gonna get lectury
It's okay.
because I have academic questions for you.
Please, I want to give academic
So
answers.
I might have to like give you a heads up on those. What about you? You got questions for me? Working on stuff?
I will look into Slava, and I'm gonna
Check
hit
it
you
out.
with some.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna ask me about Slava? Oh boy,
Okay,
that's gonna be a challenge for me because I'm gonna make sure I did my research. But
I might give you a heads up on that.
yeah, that'd be okay.
All right, I was looking at the camera, but the camera's dead.
Camera
So
is dead. We're at an hour 11 on recording, and we have to cut out at least 5 minutes of that. So
That's
we're at a healthy-ish time,
that's
I
a fun
think.
time.
Yeah.
This was a great. I mean,
Good to
this
be-
was therapeutic
yeah.
just to be in a room with you, anyways.
Yeah, just to have some chats like we used to do in the old days. In the old. Can't do that. It's copyright.
Is it? Those are 4 notes. I think you're fine.
Yeah. That was gonna be the Shire song for those of you that don't know those 4 notes right off the bat. But all right.
We got another song. We're gonna make you mad. Lands and comes. Play us out,
Play
son.
us out.
Right.
That was fun. We just had a really, really good time. Talked about things that make us smile and make us feel sublime. Juggling balls and silly shoes, barrel rolls and loop-de-loops. We just talked about clowns and coasters.